To discover what it means to be an American, sometimes you have to get out on the road. That's where you'll find Fort Bragg Communities of Cumberland County, North Carolina, a place that since the 18th century has lived and died for everything it means to be an American. We've collected all those important moments and mapped every historical site and point of interest along the way. We call it the Spirit of America Trails. Here's one of our 11 trails, the Religious Freedom Trail, the Spirit of Independence. The freedom of worship is one of the most profound freedoms we have. It's part of what brought the earliest settlers to Cumberland County, looking for a better life. First, on the Religious Freedom Trail, the Henry Evans AME Zion Church.
Henry Evans came to Fayetteville in 1769, and he was on his way to South Carolina. But when he came to Fayetteville, he saw that there were no religious structures for blacks in Fayetteville. And so he began preaching to the slaves and to freedmen. But whites were afraid that he might be corrupting them. He had to swim through the icy waters of Cross Creek 3 times because whites wanted to kill him for preaching to blacks. But they finally gave up, and then they too started coming to his church. He built a little church out of the logs from an old sawmill that was here. Blacks sat on one side of the church, and whites sat on the others as he preached to them.
Our next location on the Religious Freedom Trail, St. John's Episcopal Church.
St. John's Church was built in 1817. It was rebuilt following the fire of 1831 on the original walls and has been expanded several times. And the brass and the windows that you see were added in the late 1800s and early 1900s. The windows on each side, the 8 windows, were made by Meyer and Company. 4 of them were made in Munich and 4 of them in New York.
Next on the Religious Freedom Trail, Sardis Presbyterian Church.
From the time of its conception, all of the attendees at the church and members were slaveholders, and the Presbyterian Church had a decree sometime in the 30s that made the slaveholders responsible for the souls of their servants, and so they attended church right along with the whites. We're in the 1916 sanctuary, but we have a lot of items and appointments in here that are from the 1835 church. All these pews came out of that church. They were handmade by slave labor.
There's a picture behind us of the old pew, of these pews in the old church.
And this lower section was where the white members worshipped, and the upper gallery was for the slaves. The same pulpit and the same pews and this little cabinet are still in this church. They were moved here when this church was built.